As the clock struck 8 a.m., I determined myself standing in the front of the mirror, fully adorned in an amazing silk sari, my hair intricately plaited and decorated with delicate ornaments. It was once a picture-perfect photograph of a bride. However, the reality was far from what my coronary heart desired. Today was once my engagement, a shock event that had been rapidly organized the night time before. I had now not anticipated this sudden flip of events, but in a society the opinions of ladies were often overshadowed by means of way of life and familial expectations, it appeared that my desires had grown to be inconsequential. Despite my reluctance, there was once little I could do, however, put together myself for the inevitable. As I descended the stairs, I noticed my uncle and aunt ready eagerly at the entrance of our house. They were decorated with hope and exhilaration as they stood geared up to invite the groom's family. As the clock struck 9 a.m., the acquainted sound of vehicle brakes echoed through the quiet neighborhood. I ought to feel their arrival from the excited voices and joyful laughter that stuffed the air. My uncle and aunt had been eagerly expecting them. As quickly as the automobile doorways shut, my uncle and aunt hurriedly greeted them at the door. The candy aroma of freshly made sweets wafted through the house, tempting everyone's style buds. Suddenly, above the cheerful chatter, my aunt's voice referred to as "out, Raha, come out." Startled, I hurriedly made my way in the direction of the sound, my head barely bent. "Raha, greet the human beings here," my aunt instructed, beckoning me to increase my head. I looked up and saw a tall, muscular man sitting on the couch in the front of her, wearing a sharp suit. It was once Shubman. His extreme gaze held a trace of danger, making me nervous. I respectfully bowed to Shubman. Next to him sat his mother, her smile warming the room. I bowed to her as well, her eyes sparkling with anticipation. Sitting beside Shubman's mom was once his father, a stern, however, first-rate man. I respectfully bowed to him too, hoping to make a good impression. Then my uncle spoke up, breaking the silence. He grew to become to Shubman and asked, "Do you like Raha?" All eyes became to Shubman as he shifted his gaze from me to my uncle. His response caught every person off guard. "I want to talk to her," he responded with determination. The room fell into silence. My aunt was once left speechless, understanding properly that in our tradition the bride and groom had been no longer allowed to talk to every different earlier than the wedding. However, to everyone's surprise, my uncle well known Shubman's request. "Raha, take him to your room," he said, breaking the tension. Shubman stood up from the sofa, adjusting his coat, and observed me into the room. As I stood still, now not uttering a word, Shubman's lethal seemed to be pierced through me. His gaze traveled from head to toe earlier than he cleared his throat, preparing to speak. "Raha, hear carefully." He started out in a stern tone. "You are going to be my spouse soon, and as your future husband I anticipate you to obey whatever I say barring query or hesitation." His phrases made me clueless, and earlier than I should react, he ordered, "Raha, now I favor to see your boobs. Remove it." I was once below entire shock as a man whom I am assembly for the first time at my domestic is ordering me to exhibit my boobs. "Shubman, we are not married yet," I said. "That's fine. You are my finance," he said. "No, this is not fine. I am stepping out," I stated and commenced walking. Shubman rapidly caught me through my neck, and his eyes grew to be even extra deadly. "I simply instructed you, as my finance or wife, you are no longer supposed to deny or disobey my orders," he said, pushing me to bed. Before I may want to obtain stability and wake up from bed, he came on pinnacle of me and rapidly pulled my palu, and except any delay, he unhooked my blouse, and now my boobs, with a tiny element of it covered under bra, had been seen to his eyes. "Good, good for you. "You have acquired a nice pair of boobs. This is the exceptional boob I have ever viewed in my life," he said. Things happening to me proper now seemed delusional, however. I received my consciousness back and requested him, "Best boobs ever seen?" "Yes, I have viewed a lot and yours is the best," he said. Before I ought to system what he said, "After seeing these cuties, I cannot go away them unattended," he added. Quickly, he started out rubbing his face on my cleavage, and it was once the first time anyone touched me in my private area. I tried to protest, however, my pressure was once nothing to him. He pushed my bra up, and now my bare boobs had been totally seen to him. He grunted and rapidly positioned his enamel on my left nipple. I moaned at his action. He started pulling my left nipple with his enamel whilst his left hand pulled my right nipple. His movements have been making me lose my control. I commenced breathing heavily. His proper hand began transferring down, and in no time it reached my pussy. Without any delay, he inserted his fingers in and started out stroking in and out. I was once dropping my control. Soon I stopped protesting and started out appearing along with him. My hip commenced bouncing up and down in sync with his fingering, and I began moaning. I felt embarrassed and disguised, dozing semi-nude with a man assembly for the first time at my personal home. However, getting fingered and each my nipples tortured stuffed my thinking with sluttiness. I ought to hear any individual knocking on the door. Shubman stopped fingering me, but still, my nipples had been below his control. "Raha, are you done?" my aunt asked. "Yes, Auntie. We are getting out," I replied. Hearing my response, Shubman moved away from me and acquired down from bed. He adjusted his suit. He requested me to get down from mattress and test myself on the ground-length mirror I have in my room. I walked toward the mirror and Shubman came behind me. My boobs regarded pumped up and they had been included with red marks. "Good. You appear beautiful. So how lengthy do you suppose it will take for your boobs to get again to their dimension and the marks to go away?" he asked. I was speechless. "Fine. I will get our wedding ceremony organized in the subsequent 7 days," he said. "Get ready," he ordered. I shortly constant my dress and we walked out of the room. Everyone used to be ready for us. Shubman stated he likes me. He stated he would notify you of different important points quickly and left the residence with his family.